Does it bother you we still don't have a head coach right now, or are you okay with the Pistons taking their time and doing their due diligence with the candidates?
I'm not surprised by this. I don't have a problem with it either. Because if you looked at the three finalists, obviously it was Kevin Ollie, Charles Lee, and Jaren Collins. I think we both agreed we liked Charles Lee, but we weren't really sure if he was going to be a candidate because the Bucks are interviewing him, the Raptors are interviewing him. There's a lot of teams that are very high on him. I think 2 weeks ago we said, we'd rather have Jaren Collins than a Kevin Ollie because, we had Casey, who, like Ollie, is a good motivational, type of coach where he can talk you up, but, does that translate to wins? I think with Gores, what he's seeing is these championship coaches and playoff-type coaches become available. When we did a live stream last week, I said Doc Rivers is probably getting fired. He got fired. Nick Nurse is out there. Mark Jackson got an interview with the Bucks. There's just so many high-caliber head coaches out there right now where I don't think Gores would be satisfied with an assistant or a college coach that hasn't coached since 2014. I think what you need to know about Tom Gores is he goes for the big fish.
Yep.
And for you to throw him those three candidates, he probably laughed and said, that's the best we can do? Really? Tom Gores is not a guy where he just wants to win 20 wins. He's a guy that we've seen in years past where he tries to make the big move. He tried to trade for Blake Griffin to make a splash. He's tried to throw max dollars at free agents that just haven't wanted to come here. Who knows why? I think our next head coach is going to be a veteran coach. I think it's going to be a guy that can turn this franchise around sooner than later. So I'm not surprised from this report from Yahoo Sports. I'm just not. I would be surprised if we reopen it because I think they're putting all their eggs in one basket for Monty Williams personally. I think Monty Williams, to me, is the coach that they're really hoping takes the job.
I was just about to ask you, do you think the coach that they hire is one of the guys that just recently got fired? Because I'm in school of thought with you because I was just thinking about Kevin Ali the other day, and essentially he was basically a high school coach in the OTE. You know what I'm saying? That's a league for high school players. So even though he did win a national championship at UConn and he has that experience and he's been around the NBA for such a long time, we're talking about a big jump here. We're talking about going from high school basketball essentially to the NBA. That's a huge leap no matter what. Even if you are coaching potential NBA players like he was with the Thompson twins. But that's why I think, and when I started thinking about that, I'm like, okay, with Tom Gores as the owner, I felt like Kevin Ali really had no shot once I started putting that together. But I agree with you too. I don't think he wants to take his chances with assistants. I think he really does want that veteran coach like you're saying. So again, I'll ask you, do you think it's you did say Monty Williams, so you do think it's one of the guys that was recently fired from their job?
Yeah, I would probably say Monty Williams, Budenholzer. I don't want Doc Rivers near my franchise, but I'm sure he'll be into consideration. Wouldn't surprise me if you see Mark Jackson's name float around, even though Milwaukee did interview him. He got an interview last year with the Kings. He was a finalist with Mike Brown last year. If people don't remember that, I have a memory like a freaking elephant. I don't know how I remember everything, but I do. I just think it's going to be a veteran coach that's been there before that knows how to be disciplined, preach defense, and preach togetherness. And I think all of those coaches can do that. It just depends if they want to go from, a playoff team to a rebuilding team on the come up. That's why I mentioned Monty Williams, because he's done it before. He did it with Phoenix. Phoenix was in the gutter. Monty gets there. They're a playoff team. He won Coach of the Year, and they were a top 4 seed, ever since he was there. So I think Monty, to me, would probably be number one on my board just because he's been there before. He's done it. He's been on a bad team, and he turned them into a relevant team. So for me, that's probably who I would go with. I know there's other fans out there that they're really hoping Mark Jackson, or I see a Sam Cassell once in a while, which I think he could possibly be the new Sixers coach. Who knows what's going to go on there, but I don't know about you. Like, I haven't really asked you, like, if you had to pick a veteran coach, like, which one are you leaning towards? Because I know I've said Monty Williams. I haven't really asked you what you would want.
I mean, we talked about it. I don't know if it was last podcast or two. It might have been last podcast. It's actually got someone sending me a message about how to pronounce his name. But I like Monty Williams. You know, I liked him as well because what we were saying, he took a laughing stock of an organization, the Phoenix Suns. It took him from 19 wins to I think 33 his first year there. And then he did get to the NBA Finals. But then you look at the development of guys like Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, DeAndre, and even Cameron Payne, who was, 1 foot overseas and with 1 foot in the league, and now he looks like a decent backup point guard. So I love Monty Williams. I would love him in Detroit.